We had not felt in San Francisco that we knew the people who were writing and thinking and searching for what was new, and we went to New York to search for those people, for a circle of peers. We had the conviction that the works of artists and writers had to be new, or there was no point to the effort. We were undoubtedly lucky, for we found almost at once, and seemingly without impediment, friends who had these concerns too, and who understood and accepted us as friends. That we continue to talk about the poets that Mary and George encountered so quickly, I think bears out the intensity of their early conviction. But somewhat ironically, it is also this circle of peers who are committed to the new that have enabled the recovery of what is very, very old. Ezra Pound, William Carlos Williams, and Louis Zukofsky, rather than the Oppens themselves, maintained the letters and early drafts that are now held in archives and support work on George's poetry from the 1930s. So the archive is really the place where those early affiliations still exist. There's something undeniably exciting about the materiality of even the most mundane of these documents. Brent Hayes Edwards, in a brilliant exploration of the feeling of archival research, coins the concept of the taste of the archive to refer to the lingering sense of an object that may disclose a more complicated past, but does not do so readily. That there are sometimes major discoveries, but that most of the way that the archive works on us is through a steady sifting process as we continue to think about things that may seem ordinary or unrelated to the project that brings us to the archive in the first place. Edwards writes, quote, "Even when one happens across something unusual, it is most often recalcitrant, even gnomic, a lump that cannot be placed into anything approaching historical intelligibility. At times, the impulse to read the archive and counterpoint is more a matter of intuition and serendipity, a speculative leap, than the discovery of some empirical ground of connection." It was very much a speculative leap that led me to 21 poems. I figured that because Pound and Zukofsky were both endlessly theorizing poetic genre, and because they were both in correspondence with Oppen, that perhaps spending time with their collections at Yale would yield some sort of answer to the development of Oppen's strange, almost cubic lyrics in discrete series. And while my work over the past 2 years, researching in the development and transmission of the poems that I found, has largely concentrated on these questions of lyricism, urbanity, and objective aesthetics, I've also picked up a few of these gnomic lumps along the way. Even in the very little early correspondence and other evidence available, there are references to other poetries that one wouldn't ordinarily associate with George Oppen of any period, that I've not yet been able to easily assimilate into a conventional argument. Nevertheless, they have continued to work on me, and I'm hoping that they'll work on you too.